YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Zone with me, your host Jonathan, aka the Doctor Movies. And now, if you've been following me all day, we're gonna talk about the final Star Wars prequel, aka Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, we are at the point now where we're getting close to seeing Darth Vader. We're starting to see Anakin finally become who he's meant to be. So basically in this movie, it's time for them to finally find Count Dooku and put an end to his terror once and for all. Because now he's already kidnapped the Chancellor and they have to go find him. Okay, so let me talk about the things that I like about this movie, because honestly, there's some things here I like and there's some things I don't like at all. But there's a whole bunch of that where I'll get to that in a moment. But let me talk about the good stuff. I like that we finally at the last point of this movie. This is a dark movie. This is the first Star Wars movie to be PG-13. Now we're going to have Episode 7, which will also be PG-13. So I like that a lot. What I really like about this movie is how it finally shows where Anakin's going. You know, we finally figure out where he's coming from this little whiny kid to where he's supposed to be. Coming to become the dark side and joining the dark side and becoming Darth Vader as he's meant to be. I really like that a lot, because they finally showed it. It didn't take the whole movie for him to become Darth Vader. Now, he didn't exactly have his, the robot suit, the helmet, all that stuff that we all know and love him for, but you see him as Darth Vader before he becomes really Darth Vader, but it worked. Now, the fighting in this movie was a lot better than what 2 and 1 had. 1 felt like it was a ballet recital. 2 got better, but they could have done more. I wish this one had a couple of lightsaber fights that I personally like a lot, which was the Emperor versus Yoda and Anakin finally showing down against Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, you also had Padme back once again, played by Natalie Portman. She was fun in the movie. She didn't really do much, but she was there, and you started to see that she's having the children, the Skywalker kids, aka Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. So you have that going for you. And of course, another good thing I like about this movie was no Jar Jar Binks. He was there, but yet didn't really say much. And you have C-3PO and R2-D2, and they're always fine. Now, let me get to a point where I don't like. There are moments in this movie I'm like, okay. First of all, we get a new character called General Grievous. Now, we know who General Grievous is. He's supposed to be this big giant robot who's been trained, wielding the lightsaber by Count Dooku. He's got 4 arms, he can hold 4 lightsabers, so he kills Jedis and he collects their lightsabers as trophies. So he goes off and he goes and does his thing. But he was only in 1 movie. I wish they wouldn't have put him in the other movies. At least he would have been more established better. You know what I mean? I feel that they just rushed him and they just put him in there to just be there. He pops in the beginning of the movie and you're like, who is this guy? No character development, no backstory about how he was created or who came up with this guy. Nothing. So what was the point of even having him in this movie? Would have been fine without him anyway. But I guess maybe just to sell toys, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, even when Obi-Wan took him out, it was, you didn't really care that he died. At least when he fought Darth Maul in the first one, you understood where Darth Maul was coming from, because he was in the beginning of the movie. He wasn't as established either, but you know what? At least he had a little bit more screen time. He just didn't pop up at the end of the movie and you didn't know who he was. He was in the beginning, the middle, and the end. He was there. You understand who he was. He was the apprentice to the Emperor. But this guy, nope, pops up, starts coughing, wheezing, whatever he was doing. It looked like he was sick, but whatever. I mean, you can also argue that they explain his origin in the Clone Wars series, because if you watch the Clone Wars animated show, it basically follows the story after the Clone Wars, which is Episode 2. Then it goes to the series, which is 6 seasons, and then it goes to Episode 3. But you can argue that, but yet I really wish they wouldn't have made him more better than he was. But whatever. So, then we get to a point in the movie where the clone troopers, they follow the orders. They are programmed to follow the orders of the Jedi and, stop the bad guys. right? They kick ass, they do all the things. Then they get a message from the Emperor, execute Order 66, which is a distress call to their nervous system, which triggers them to betray the Jedi. Now, you're going to tell me Jedi have the power to control things, move things with their hands, force and all that stuff. But yet, they don't sense that the troopers are going to turn on them. You see them one by one getting picked off. One by one. They all get picked off in other parts of the galaxy doing the war, trying to protect the galaxy, right? Their clones turn on them. Now, you can argue also that Obi-Wan didn't know either, but yet Obi-Wan, he was caught off guard. He wasn't really focusing on that. They caught him off guard, but everybody else see them, they turn on them. They don't sense it. They don't sense it. You know, if they would have sensed Obi-Wan had got attacked by his own team, then the other ones could have been like, okay, maybe these guys are going to attack us. Let's defend ourselves. No. Nope. They just don't sense it, and they get their butts handed to them. I mean, what was the point of even having these Jedis here? I mean, honestly, that was one of the problems I had for the first one. They were in the council, and they're supposed to be the most powerful Jedis, but yet, nothing. They all get taken out. At least Mace Windu, he fought the Emperor, and it was a good fight scene too. But at least he stood toe-to-toe, at least one of them. And I'm pretty sure if he could handle the clones himself, just like how Yoda and Obi-Wan are the only ones who sensed this stuff and was able to fight off them. You know what I mean? Especially Yoda. Yoda knew right away, as soon as he knew that the Jedis were being killed, he sensed it right away. So he knew that there were two clones behind him and they were going to kill him. And what he does, he slices their heads off clean. Because that's what proves to you that he's the most powerful Jedi. But I just feel like you're going to have these guys in the council and they don't do anything. What was the point of even having the Jedi Masters? You know, you could have Anakin as a Jedi, granting the power of a Jedi Master, and he wouldn't have turned evil, but whatever, right? I mean, I guess we wouldn't have gotten Darth Vader up all this time if he ended up being good, but what can you say? I just did not like that at all. Another thing I didn't really like was the fact that certain, politicians, all the Senate, they see the Emperor and what he's doing, but they don't question anything was going on with the Jedi Temple. They all assumed that the Jedis are evil. I mean, because Palpatine tells, the Senate that, the Jedi, they try to attack me. And, they don't go into an investigation and figure out what the heck is going on here. No, they just assume that the Chancellor was attacked and they follow his every, beck and call. So, whatever. But what can you do? The only person who actually knew, who didn't buy his whole story was Padme. At least she was the smart one. But, I don't know. And I also figure that all the aliens who worship the Emperor, they should have known who he was all the time. They should have at least said something to the Jedis. Oh yeah, Palpatine is in disguise as the Emperor. He's the Emperor in disguise. Oh, not even Count Dooku. Count Dooku knew all along that the Emperor was Palpatine. And when Anakin had him down with the two lightsabers, he could have said, this is the Emperor. You kill him, don't kill me. At least let me live so I can go to jail, whatever. But nope. They don't nothing. Either you were too scared of him, or you're just being paranoid. I didn't get that at all. I just feel that I wish they wouldn't have had more time to explain all this. And I wish the Senate was a little smarter than they're supposed to be. Because they're supposed to be the wise people who control the center of all the galaxy, right? All the sectors, they should have known something was up. But whatever. And then you have, of course, the fight scenes. Now, some of them were good, and some of them was whatever. Take it this one. You had the fight between Mace Windu and the Emperor, and he brings 4 Jedis with him. 4. Could be 5, we don't remember. They all get picked up one by one. I mean, what kind of Jedis have no skill against the Emperor, honestly? He just picks them off one by one like they were nobodies. Like they were rookies. I don't get that. I just never understood that, but what can you do? Another thing that I don't get, Anakin's supposed to be a new Jedi, right? He's supposed to be the most powerful, I get that. but there's supposed to be other Jedis there who know and train longer than he has, but yet Anakin still ends up beating them. Now, I get that he's supposed to be Darth Vader. He's the most powerful, so I get that. But I wish they would have said or showed, these Jedi's in the temple. You see them all get wiped out like they're nobodies. Like they're just a bunch of cockroaches in the floor and getting stomped on. They didn't even put up a good fight. But, I can understand the children, the young Jedi's, the young Padawans, they're still learning, but, when they died, it made sense that they were going to get killed because, they were young. But I just didn't buy the rest of the Jedi's in the temple getting wiped out so quickly. But yeah, but then we finally get to the ending of the movie. Anakin gets burned, and he gets basically half his body chopped off, and then he becomes Darth Vader. Now, if I had to put a score on this movie, I will probably grade this movie a 6. Like I said, I enjoyed this movie. It's a good movie to watch. But it has its moments where I'm like, come on, why you gotta put that there? Why does that gotta be there? Some of the moments I just don't like, you know what I mean? But like I said, the Obi-Wan fight, Obi and Anakin fight, and Emperor and Yoda fight, they were the best parts of these movies. But yeah, so, there you go. Well, that's my review for the prequels. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite and which one is your least favorite. So far, my least favorite out of all of them is really Episode 1. But at least these two have moments in these movies that have lightsaber fights and, action scenes, and that makes sense and they're pretty cool. But, not every movie is perfect. So, there you have it. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. And, of course, the Doctor's in and out. And thank you. Have a good day. And let the Force be with you all.